Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, Patrick and Mark star in Up in the Air, Nintendo Edition. It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. How's it going, Mark?
It's going great. Do you think people remember Up in the Air, the movie?
I mean, maybe. That was a big deal for... I feel like that was a big deal, right?
Yeah, but isn't it like so weird how like ephemeral pop culture is?
Well, in 20 years, when we're looking back on George Clooney's career, because he's died, what movies are we going to be like, those are the Clooney movies? Like Oceans.
Yeah. Good Night and Good Luck.
Right? Great flick. Just rewatched it. It's really good.
And yeah,
Up in
I don't
the Air,
really
maybe,
know.
right?
I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. Did that movie leave any impact on you? I don't think it's a bad movie.
Okay.
But I think that it's weird to me how certain movies like gain like traction and hype around them, because I don't really understand why this movie did. Like, I don't think it's anything special.
I don't know. I think
It was a star-making turn for
Anna Kendrick.
Yes.
There we go. But when we look back on her career, we're just going to see Pitch Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
And that she should have been Squirrel Girl. That's good casting.
I saw a Simple Favor. It was like a Paul Feig movie that was her and Mrs. Green Lantern. Who's the
Blake Lively. Yeah. Carol Ferris herself, Blake Lively.
It was great.
Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. They were both really good in it. Blake Lively should be in more things.
Yes, I agree.
If she wants to be. Hopefully she's happy doing whatever she
Mark
wants.
doesn't want to bully her into taking roles that she doesn't want.
Well, we talked about this earlier with
Aubrey Plaza?
Aubrey Plaza being in the new Chucky movie.
Yeah. That we hope that is a role that she's like, yeah, that seems weird. I'll do it. And not like, God, I'm not getting anything else. I got to be the mom in Chucky.
Because when you say it that way, depressing. Another thing that when you say it the wrong way sounds depressing.
You want to borrow my copy of Sonic Forces for the Nintendo Switch, and you can! All you got to do is email us at nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com and let us know what address we should send that game to. And then you can play it for as long as you want and then send it back.
Simple as that.
All right, Mark, we've got some heavy decisions to make. Well, let's get into it. We're firing some Nintendo characters. And of course, there are a lot of reasons for this. Budget cutbacks, one. I guess that's really it. We don't have the money that we used to, so we gotta fire some characters.
I mean, also just like technology improvements. You know, like as technology improves, especially with AI these days.
Totally.
You know, like AI is taking jobs that used to be
left and right.
Performed by people.
Right, like delivering boxes while being clobbered by a hockey stick.
Exactly.
We've seen that. Those videos terrify me, by the way. The one where it takes the hockey stick from the guy is incredible.
So there was one recently, well, let's not get into it.
Okay.
We got to focus.
Okay, so we are not suggesting that these characters disappear. We are suggesting only that
they lose their job.
The job that they currently hold in the Nintendo universe, they lose.
We're not wishing death on them. And why are we doing this, Patrick? You came up with this. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it is because Mr. Resetti of the Animal Crossing franchise, who has previously been responsible for saving and resetting your game, has been fired because the new Animal Crossing includes
autosave.
And
you probably see Mr. Resetti most often when you like turn off your game without saving, because he gets real mad at you.
He doesn't like it. And I mean, this is he's been with the series since the beginning. I've got a Mr. Resetti amiibo, so like this one hits home for me. But not all change is bad, right? And some people losing their jobs, it either means it frees them up to explore other opportunities, or it means that, we don't need to, a body doesn't need to be in that space.
Well, and some of these I don't feel bad about.
No.
Because some of the ones on my list, in fact, I think all of the ones on my list, people are just doing a bad job.
Oh, okay, you put a lot of bad job viewers in here.
Okay, so can I go first?
Sure, please.
Okay, so the first one is specifically the Isle Delfino judge who puts Mario in prison and makes him clean up all the graffiti on Isle Delfino. But really, the whole kangaroo court is out of order.
Right. But I mean, the judge is in control of the kangaroo court, right?
Exactly. Look, there's no way that Mario could have been responsible for the graffiti on Isle Delfino because he just arrived.
There, right.
He just arrived. And second of all, Shadow Mario looks kind of like Mario in a super racist way.
Well, I don't know if that's racist. It's just he's the exact same shape as Mario,
but a different color.
Yeah, okay. Maybe the people of the island of Delfino, does that race have a name?
I don't know, actually.
I don't know either. Yeah. But maybe they're colorblind.
But we know they're not because it's all tropical colored. So unless that's an accident.
Yeah, it might be an accident.
Okay, that's fair. I won't rule that out. But what I will rule out is the entire Isle Delfino justice system, completely out of order.
So here's a little bit of a problem. We're firing characters, but that judge is going to have to be impeached, Mark. Or we're going to have to run a better candidate against him because judges are elected.
Yeah, do you know what? And that's fine because democracy works. Mm-hmm. It just takes people or Delfinoans.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what they're called.
To rise up against an unjust system.
Right.
And that's what I am calling on the people of Isle Delfino to do because we need to impeach that judge.
That's right.
Also
look, even though impeachment of that judge does not seem politically popular now, you have to make a case and present the case so that all the people of Island of Delfino see it
exactly.
and can understand what his crimes are.
Well, and I think that by the end of Super Mario Sunshine, the events of Super Mario Sunshine, that it's revealed, of course, that Mario was wrongly convicted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's just, I'm sure, one of many examples of injustice in the Isle Delfino judicial system. But also, yes, it is true that we'll have to impeach or run another candidate against the judge.
Right.
But what about the attorney, the prosecuting attorney? Sure, the district attorney or whatever is elected, but probably just an assistant district attorney or just a prosecutor in the office.
Right, whoever
that
took the
person,
case, yeah.
we can pink slip,
we
no
can
problem.
We can fire them. Okay, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a whole structure here that we can we can fire some, we can run candidates against others, and we may have to
we just work the guillotine on others. Guillotines work.
Oh, 100% effective. My first candidate for firing is not someone who's doing a bad job. In fact, someone who's doing, I would say, an overly good job. And I would only want there to be a game mode wherein this character loses his job. I am referring to Lakitu in the Mario Kart series. You know what? I want a sudden death version of Mario where if you fall off Rainbow Road, tough, you lose the race.
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you.
Right, expert mode.
Yes.
But I also think that he just needs some time off.
Totally, because he's been doing it forever. Also, he calls the race, he starts it. We can automate that, right? He doesn't need to be there waving a flag to be this is your last lap. He doesn't need to be there with that. He's holding a traffic light. The traffic light could just be mounted on the start line.
I think he probably has a really good job. I'm assuming that it's heavily unionized.
Sure. Yeah, that's probably right.
And we support unions. 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. However, I would like a mode where if you drive off the side of the road that you don't get rescued from the volcano. You fall into the volcano, you burn up and die.
It's your own
Last
fault.
place. Mark, you got another one?
Yeah. So my next pick is Ganon's Minions. Guys,
all together.
You're out of here.
Wow.
You're doing such a lousy job. I'm speaking specifically to Ganon's minions from Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
Okay.
They have one job.
Right, murder Link.
All they have to do is murder Link and scatter his blood across Ganon's ashes, and Ganon will be brought back to life.
Right.
There are so many of Ganon's minions in this game. Guys, just gang up on him all at once.
Find him.
Don't scatter yourselves so there's 2 or 3.
Yeah, they're
level.
hiding in temples and stuff.
What a waste of time.
Yeah. So are there no generals in Ganon's army?
Seemingly no, because it's important to note that this is not Ganon's army. It's just Ganon's minions, right?
Yeah.
So they're decentralized at this point. They're like a hydra without a head.
So maybe this is the real problem, is that they are no longer working for a unified, if there was a company to fire them from, that would be effective, because then we could fire them and hire new minions. But the fact that it's more like a religion at this point.
Oh, sure.
You can't fire someone from a religion.
No,
except for Scientology.
No, you can. It's called excommunication.
Oh, that's a good point. So far on your list of people that you want to fire, we've got 1 impeachment and 1 excommunication.
That's right.
All right, good. Those are good. My next choice, and this one pains me, because I love these games and I'm about to negate their whole premise. Dr. Mario's got to go.
Oh, ouch.
He can no longer practice medicine. I know he's billing those things as mega vitamins, but he is over-prescribing pills for common ailments.
No, I mean, it's true. You look at a Dr. Mario screen.
Yeah.
And those bugs are just growing. They're just multiplying from screen to screen.
And every single one, there's more. And Dr. Mario's like, I don't know, more pills. We are in the middle of an opioid crisis, and it's because doctors, like Dr. Mario, are just prescribing pills. Hey, diet, exercise, and other environmental things. You don't need to go right to pills.
I mean, well, even just specifically antibiotics.
Yeah.
Antibiotics are so overprescribed. You go to a urgent care or something, and the doctor, they don't have the time or necessarily the expertise to really survey what's wrong. And so they're just oh, great, we'll just give you an enormous horse pill antibiotic that's just going to wipe out every micro biological being in your body. Call it good. But that's not working, as we clearly see.
Right. In the world of Dr. Mario. They keep coming back. So, I mean, as far as doctors go, I think he's awful. He's what's wrong with medicine.
Adorable.
Of course. And look, he can keep the coat. He can keep the little reflective thing that he wears on his head, like that old doctor mirror thing.
Yeah. What is that for?
It is a relic of when doctors didn't have flashlights. So if they wanted to look inside an ear or a mouth or something, that they could just reflect the light into that space and see. But now we have flashlights. So that's just another thing, update your tools, Dr. Mario. You're a bad doctor.
So when I was compiling this list,
yes,
literally the first thing I thought of was the judge on Isle Delfino. Yeah. But that led me down the further path of Super Mario Sunshine. And so the next person that I think just needs to be relieved of their duties is Toadsworth. Who is Princess Peach's confidant.
Yes.
And clearly, he does a terrible, terrible job.
Now, what has he done that is particularly egregious?
I think it's just gross negligence in general. Mm-hmm. The amount of times that Princess Peach has been kidnapped or betrayed. I don't know exactly in what way she's been betrayed.
But she has, probably. Look, I mean, Bowser is part of the Mushroom Kingdom. Presumably, he's one of her subjects.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He's committing treason over and over again.
And, it just seems like there would be better measures in place. And again, I hate to keep going back to this, but on Isle Delfino, Toadsworth, he's supposed to be the queen's hand.
Sure.
Right? He's supposed to be the one who's pulling the levers, greasing the wheels, and he's completely ineffective.
Right. She does not seem like a politically powerful figure, and it's because Toadsworth is so ineffectual. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, let's get rid of him. Get a new one. So before I move on to my next one, I just wanted to point something out that Sarah and I noticed while playing Super Mario 3D World this weekend. We were admiring the adorable design of Toad. He wears a little vest. and also seemingly has a diaper on. And we're like, hey, what's up with that diaper? And I said, maybe there are no toilets in the Mushroom Kingdom, which is why Mario and Luigi can't be plumbers anymore and have to resort to heroism because there are no toilets. Everyone just wears diapers.
Yeah, lots of pipes, but people going through that pipe.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
So that was just an observation that I had. I don't know if I want them to lose their jobs as plumbers. They should always be able to go through pipes. I would like to fire the Arcade Bunny from Nintendo Badge Arcade.
Wow.
Now, this is something that I only want to do now at this point in Nintendo Badge Arcade's lifespan. For those of you who have not played Nintendo Badge Arcade, it is a crane game that is free-ish to play for the 3DS, where you can get badges and stickers and themes for your 3DS, and it is hosted by this pink rabbit, who I actually rather like. But he is a barrier at every point to you actually playing the things. He'll come and he'll talk at you for a little bit, and it's charming conversation, but I wish he was just gone, and the Badge Arcade at this point was just fair game. Like, if there are still people sinking a lot of money into Nintendo Badge Arcade, I suppose I can't fault Nintendo for making us, continue to do that. But I think at this point in the game's life cycle, like, just cut them out of there. Be like, no. There's no one watching the gate. Everyone just goes in and plays the crane game as much as they want, and they just deck out their 3DSs. I think it would be fun, and then it frees up the bunny for other stuff. I want to see him in Smash. I want to see him in Mario Kart. Like, we need to free up the Arcade Bunny.
I think it'd be really cool if themes end up coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any reason why Nintendo Badge Arcade couldn't have another life on the Switch.
Absolutely. Nintendo Badge Arcade is so like neat and has such like interesting personality that it would be nice to allow people to explore that with a little bit more freedom and being just less bogged down by the rabbit making topical jokes about games that have been released on 3DS, which now isn't even a thing. Seems like there's no purpose for him anymore.
Okay, my next group of people, and I'm sorry, this is another one like Ganon's minions.
Mark
just
is
like
cleaning house here. Jeez,
it's like a group who just need to get it together or get out. Are the Sages of Hyrule?
Wow,
guys, you've had so many opportunities to seal away the darkness, the forces of evil.
Yeah,
and you fail
every single time.
Every single time,
right?
And Link has to wake up from his slumber and like get it all together for you guys, and you're like, oh, thank you, we really appreciate it, but we just don't have time for that anymore.
Well, so here's a counterpoint, is that aren't the sages different in every single game, kind of implying that they have been fired every single time?
Actually, that's a really compelling
point. There might be too much turnover.
Yeah. Actually, maybe like trigger-happy people like me who come in as consultants, and they're like, I know what the problem is.
Fire everyone.
Let's build it from the ground up.
They failed to seal away the darkness once. They're going to fail again. But it's like, no, they learned their lessons from
that. Like this. There's no institutional memory anymore.
That's right.
Like, nobody has the opportunity to learn from their mistakes. And so a new group of sages are brought in. And they
don't even know where to get office supplies.
Exactly. So it's just like, seal away the darkness. And they're like, I'm sorry, we started working together like 24 hours ago.
Yeah, I have questions about my dental benefits.
Who do I call about that?
Right, and then they waste a whole day figuring that out. It's not a waste, because like they should get those benefits, but like, there's stuff you need to get done.
Yeah.
And this is how evil breaks free every single time.
Okay, so maybe I feel a little bit about that one. So can I pivot?
Sure.
To another one?
Yes.
And this one really, really, really pains me to say.
Go for it.
I think it's Mario.
Whoa.
So I really like Mario.
Okay, so hold on. What job are we firing Mario from? Because I've already fired him from being a doctor.
So I want him here. I don't even really know. Let me tell you what the issue as I see it.
Yes.
And then I guess we can define his role that he's being relieved from. Because I want to kind of say like the guy who goes after Bowser.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so let me set the stage for this.
Rescuer of princesses.
Yes, okay. Exactly. So, you know how Batman doesn't kill people?
Yes.
That's like his whole thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, this would all just be solved
if you just murdered the Joker.
Exactly. Yeah. If you would just compromise yourself a little bit for the greater good. We move to Mario.
Okay.
Bowser keeps coming back, keeps terrorizing the Mushroom Kingdom. And, Mario will, I don't know, like blow up Bowser. He'll blow up his ship,
I mean, he's also dropped him into lava.
Right.
Like, repeatedly, which Bowser doesn't like. Sometimes becomes a skeleton version of himself.
I guess what I'm saying is, like, Mario just, like, finish the job.
Sure. That it just keeps... Bowser keeps coming back.
Yeah, like, Wario wouldn't hesitate. And I'm not saying that we would replace you with Wario. I'm just saying that's an option.
Right.
I'm just giving an example. We're just talking.
Right. We're not making any decisions today. We're not even writing any new job descriptions today. However, are we seeking a Wario type? Maybe. Someone with a little bit more muscle behind them.
I'm not saying Mario can't do the job. I'm just saying that he has yet to do it.
That's right. That is tough but fair, Mark. I have two more. My next choice for firing is Donnell, the farmer from Fire Emblem Awakening. This is a character that you get very early in the game, maybe second or third chapter. He's like a side mission, and he's a farmer. He's a country bumpkin, and he is level 1, super low stats when you get him. And he is one of those characters that if you keep him, and he levels up more powerfully than anybody else. And so once you get everyone up to level 50, he's the strongest one of them at level 50. What is he doing farming? He should lose that job so that he goes right into the armed forces. He's going to be the most powerful person on that battlefield, if only he's not wasting time in the farming.
Okay. Do you not think, though, that, like, potentially the reason he becomes so powerful is because of, like, the discipline and the work ethic that he got from being a farmer?
No, I reject that.
As long as you considered it, that's all I ask.
Yes, thank you. I mean, he becomes such a capable warrior that it makes me think that all of the time that he spent farming was wasted. That he should have been... When you meet him, he should already be a level 30 fighter of some kind, and then just becomes more powerful from there. So no more wasting time farming. And my final, unless do you have another one?
No.
My final candidate for firing, and this one is hard for me to say. Samus Aran.
Wow.
So I want to fire her in two capacities. One, you are no longer a bounty hunter. And two, you are severing your ties with the galactic whatever they are.
Federation, probably.
Federation, yeah, like those Marines.
Federation forces.
Sure. So severing your ties with all of that. Because look, she shouldn't be taking orders. And she also shouldn't be doing something as crass as taking bounties, hunting for bounties. She has a cause in the galaxy. She has a connection to alien animals and has a deep fear of the Metroid. And her priorities are not in line with people who are going to pay her to do things, like bounty hunter wise, and certainly not in line with the army.
Also,
with the military.
Seemingly, she's a very effective bounty hunter.
Yes.
So she probably. I'm assuming that it pays well.
I
wonder if she could stop if she wanted to, or if she just really loves the hunt.
Yeah. I guess that is the thing. Is she's so good at it, and is not when you think about bounty hunters in real life. I'm thinking Dog the Bounty Hunter, or when in Star Wars, I'm thinking Boba Fett. These are unprincipled characters, right? These are people who don't believe in anything. Dog believes in Jesus.
I just don't want to impugn Dog.
You don't want to impugn Dog?
No.
Didn't he say a bunch of racist stuff on a tape that surfaced a couple years ago?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well then yes, impugn away.
Bounty hunting is not a particularly principled job.
Sure.
Is all I'm saying. And she is a legit hero. She has principles that she stands for, and I think that she needs to abandon these two twin career paths and just be a crusader for what she knows is right. So this one is a little bit of I don't want you wasting your time with this stuff, just like Donnell. I don't want you wasting your time with farming. You are too capable of a warrior.
I think that's kind of like a nice up note, that whereas we're like, and I have another one actually.
Yeah.
I have a group of people that
always a group.
And they're not really people, but that did a really I think are really effective at their jobs and I think are ready for a promotion. And I know this is maybe not a popular choice, but I'm positing that the Brutals are in line for at least a job well done, because these
are the wedding planners from Super Mario Odyssey.
Exactly. And Bowser, all throughout the game is like, go get that cake, go get those flowers, go get whatever. And the Brutals, they do it.
Yeah, that's true. And they are wedding planners, and the fact that they are putting together this wedding with stuff from all over the world, also the moon, they go everywhere.
They go above and beyond
to get the job done for their client. And they endure physical abuse, and they don't actually, I guess they do sort of put the wedding on, right?
Yeah.
Like, you make it to the wedding on the moon.
And then Mario ruins it.
Jeez, can you imagine if you are a wedding planner, even with a team of like 4 other wedding planners, and your client says, I want to get married on the moon. And then you got to deliver that somehow?
You have to do it.
They did it.
Yeah, I mean, I think legitimately job well done to the Brutals.
Okay, so this is the opposite of...
It's the opposite of hiring them.
Right.
Exactly.
Is promoting.
And I also think, we started this whole thing because Mr. Resetti is losing his job.
Yes.
As like the save guy for Animal Crossing. But we have a quote here that, gives us hope that we'll see Mr. Resetti in the new Animal Crossing game in some capacity.
Let's hear it.
It's from Animal Crossing New Horizons project lead Aya Koyo. How would you say that?
Kyogoku?
Perfect. I think that she says, quote, I think this will be a positive thing for the player because in New Horizons you can stop playing in the middle of your game and it'll still save. But unfortunately, because there's no necessity to reset the game or reset button on the Switch, Mr. Resetti had a hard time. He was laid off from his position. We also believe that Mr. Resetti is looking for a new job after his layoff, so please look forward to that. So I'm excited to see where in New Horizons he ends up.
Do you think there will be an unemployment line that he will just be standing in?
On the deserted island? It's completely deserted except for the unemployment line.
Right. And then after that, he goes to the library so he can update his LinkedIn profile.
Exactly. Ask friends to endorse him for skills.
Right, of course.
Like resetting, watching.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds... that doesn't sound uplifting to me. That sounds depressing.
You think so? I think it's nice that he's looking for a new job. I guess my assumption in all of this is that they're going to give him a new job.
I see.
And he won't just be like wandering the island.
He's a mole, right?
Yeah.
And like, can't he just tunnel? Is there no need for tunneling on an island?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe there's a whole metro system.
Great. So if you have a Nintendo character that you would like to see lose their job, please email us at nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com. All right, Mark, let's close this out. Okay, that is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Remember, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. If you like the episode, you could share it with someone, maybe as they're losing their job. Like, just poke your head into the office, see how they're doing, inform them of their Cobra benefits, and, tell them that there's a podcast they should listen to.
Or maybe they just started a new job at your office.
And you're, threatening them?
No, and you're welcoming them.
Oh, I see.
And you're forging a friendship by sharing a common interest.
Perfect. Yeah, maybe better to use our podcast as a an olive branch, and, this is how we be friends.
Yeah, I mean, but we admit it can be used as both.
That's right. Weaponize us if you must. Or on Facebook or Twitter. That's all very helpful. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Patrick_Ellers. Mark is at MKE Mitchell, and the show is at NinCart Society. There's also a Facebook page, which is just Nintendo Cartridge Society. Olivia Duncan made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of 8-Bit Betty's music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Ellers saying thanks for listening.
Campfire.